Adam Hayes walked through the lower marketplace of Meridian 7 with no real direction. The trade station spun slowly in the darkness of space, and its markets never stopped moving. Alien species from 100 worlds bought and sold goods in the crowded streets. Tall blue beings sold jewels from there. Short green traders offered spices that smelled like fire. Humans like Adam were still rare on the station. Many aliens did not trust Earth people yet. Adam was a colonel in Earth's colonial defense force. He had come to Meridian 7 on a diplomatic mission. For 3 days, he had sat in boring meetings with alien leaders. They talked about trade agreements and peace treaties. They spoke slowly, as if humans could not understand fast talk. Adam had heard the same things 1,000 times. So on his free afternoon, he left the official zones and walked into the lower marketplace where real aliens lived and worked. The marketplace was loud and alive. Vendors shouted their prices. Children of alien species ran between the stalls. Music played from shops that sold art and recordings from distant worlds. Adam moved slowly, watching and learning. This was where the real galaxy lived, not in the clean diplomatic halls above. Then he heard the scream. It was a female voice, high and filled with real fear. It came from near an old warehouse, one of the buildings that had been abandoned when the station was rebuilt years ago. Adam's soldier training took over. He moved toward the sound without thinking about it. This was what he did. This was who he was. The warehouse door was broken. Inside, Adam saw 3 armed beings. They were Vex, a reptilian species known for violence and quick kills. They worked for criminals and murderers. In front of them stood a young female with pale blue skin and black eyes that were wide with terror. Her clothes were fine and expensive. She wore jewelry that meant power and wealth. The girl was beautiful in the way alien women could be beautiful. Her skin shone like ice. Her eyes held intelligence and fear at the same time. She was backed against a metal wall, and the 3 Vex assassins moved toward her slowly. "Princess, this is the end," one of the assassins said. His voice was rough like broken stone. "Your time is finished. The king will mourn, but the alliance will be stronger without you." The princess looked at Adam for just one moment. Her eyes held hope and despair together. Adam did not stop to think. He did not call for backup. He did not do any of the things a smart soldier would do. He moved forward and struck the first assassin across the face with his palm. The Vex's head snapped back. Adam followed with a kick to the second assassin's stomach. That being fell backward, the wind knocked from his body. The third assassin turned and raised a weapon, but Adam was faster. He had trained for combat his whole life. Earth people were stronger than most aliens believed. They were also smarter and faster in ways that mattered. Adam took the weapon away from the third assassin with a hard twist. The Vex screamed and dropped to his knees. Adam pushed him down and made sure he stayed down. It was over in 10 seconds. The princess was still breathing hard. She stared at Adam like he was a ghost. "You are human," she said. Her voice was soft and shaking. "I am," Adam said, "and you are not safe here. We need to go." He took her arm gently. She did not pull away. Together, they left the warehouse. The third assassin had already run away into the marketplace, lost in the crowd. The other 2 would wake up with terrible pain in their heads and bodies. That was enough for now. Adam moved through the marketplace with the princess. People stared. A human soldier walking with an Aryan princess was not something anyone saw every day. Adam moved with purpose. He had seen a small transport station near the market. He had learned the layout of Meridian 7 well in 3 days. "Where are we going?" the princess asked. Her hand was still shaking in his. "Somewhere safe," Adam said. "You can tell me the rest after we are not in the open." He took her to a small food shop run by a fat who owed Adam a favor. The shopkeeper's eyes went wide when he saw the princess, but Adam gave him a look that meant silence. That brought them to a back room. It was small and quiet. Only then did Adam let go of the princess's arm. She sat down on a bench and breathed deeply. Her blue skin had turned lighter with fear. Slowly, it returned to its normal pale blue color. "My name is Adam Hayes," he said. "What is your name?" "I am," she said, "daughter of King of the Aryan people." "Princess," Adam said, and he gave a small bow. It was the human way to show respect. Looked at him like he was strange, but there was something warm in her eyes now, something that looked like trust. "Why did you help me?" she asked. "You do not know me, your people have no agreement with mine, you could have died." Adam sat down across from her. "I helped you because someone needed help. Where I come from, we do not wait to see if we should care about someone before we save their life. We help because it is right. Looked down at her hands. They were still shaking a little. My father has sent me to marry a prince of the empire. The union will bind our people to theirs, but I have seen what this marriage will do. They are ruled by an evil council. They want to control my world, not join with it. I ran away from the royal guard. I hope to reach a transport ship and escape. She looked up at Adam. But they sent assassins to stop me. Then we cannot hide here forever, Adam said. Your father needs to know you are safe. I will help you get back to him, and we will tell him what I did. Shook her head. In my world, a human helping a princess without reward is not something that happens. My father will not believe this story. Adam smiled. It was a small, honest smile. Then we will make him believe it together. The two of them sat in that small back room, and the fate of two worlds began to change. Neither of them knew it yet. But the universe was about to teach everyone a hard lesson about what humans were truly made of. King sat on his throne in the great palace of the Aryans. The palace was built from their own crystals, which grew from the planet itself. The walls shone with inner light. The throne room was vast and cold. It fit the king's mood perfectly. A messenger had come with terrible news. His daughter had not reached the transport station as planned. She had simply vanished from the royal escort. Now worse news came. Someone had tried to kill her in the marketplace. 3 assassins had attacked her in an old warehouse. 3 assassins. They were all hired killers from the Vex clans. The king knew what that meant. Someone wanted his daughter dead, someone powerful enough to hire the best killers in the galaxy. Was an old king, but still strong. His blue skin was darker thence, marked with lines of power and wisdom. His black eyes were sharp. He had ruled his people for 40 years. He had kept them safe through trade, wars, and political attacks. But now his own daughter was in danger, and he did not know who was attacking her. His security chief commander stood before him with a report. The assassins were stopped by a human, my king, a human soldier from Earth. He fought all 3 Vex warriors without weapons. He won the fight in seconds. King leaned forward. A human? Why would an Earth human help my daughter? We do not know, said. But the human has disappeared with the princess. They left the marketplace together. My guards saw them. The king stood up slowly. He was tall even by Aryan standards. His presence filled the entire room. This human, find him, bring him to me. I want to know why he touched my daughter. I want to know what he wants from this act. Within hours, the station security forces found Adam. He was walking through the commercial district with beside him. They did not try to hide. Adam knew running would only make things worse. When the royal guards appeared, he did not fight. He raised his hands and let them take him. Adam and were brought to the great palace. The throne room was the largest room Adam had ever seen. It stretched up so high that the ceiling seemed to touch the sky. King sat at the far end, smaller than the space around him, but huge in presence. Guards lined the walls. They were all armed. Adam walked toward the king with his head up, walked beside him, but the guards tried to move her away. Adam put his hand out and gently held her arm. She stays with me, he said. His voice was calm and clear. The guards looked at King. The king nodded. They let walk beside Adam. When they were close, Adam bowed. It was a deep bow, full of respect, did not bow. She stood straight beside the human soldier. You are the human who touched my daughter, the king said. His voice was deep and carried power. Explain yourself. 3 Vex assassins had her backed against a wall, Adam said. They were going to kill her. I stopped them. That is all. The king's eyes narrowed. And what do you want in return? Credits, a position, a ship. Humans always want something. This is known. Adam shook his head. I want nothing. I helped her because she needed help. That is the human way. The king stood up. He walked down the long stairs from his throne. Each step was slow and heavy. He stopped in front of Adam and looked at him carefully. You ask for nothing. I ask for nothing, Adam said again. Spoke then, her voice was calm. Father, this human has shown me what true courage is. He did not wait to see if I was worthy. He did not ask what I could give him. He saw that I was in danger, and he acted. This is what you have always told me a true king should do. The king turned to his daughter. You defend him. I do, said. And he is right. I know what you fear. You fear that I ran away and will bring shame to our family. But listen to what I say, father. I ran from a marriage that would have destroyed our people. The union is a trap. It will make us slaves to a cruel empire. I ran because I care for our world. The king was very still. Then he turned back to Adam. And you knew nothing of this when you helped her. I knew nothing, Adam said. I just knew she needed saving. King was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, his voice was different. It carried a new tone. Humans are rare in the galaxy. My people have always thought of humans as small and weak, not advanced enough to matter. This is what we believed. He stepped closer to Adam. But I see something different now. I see a species that acts from the heart, not from politics or reward. I see a warrior who fights for strangers. Where I come from, this is the highest form of nobility. The king raised his hand, and the guards brought chairs. The three of them sat in the great throne room. The king wanted to know everything. Adam told him about his life on Earth. He told him about human history, about struggles and wars, about humans fighting against impossible odds and never giving up. He told him about humans protecting those weaker than themselves because it was the right thing to do. The king listened to every word, listened too. She had never heard these stories before. When Adam finished, King stood up again. My people face enemies too. There are those who wish to control us or destroy us. There are those who plot against my throne. I did not know my daughter understood this danger, but she is correct. The alliance was a trap I nearly fell into. He looked at Adam with new eyes. You have done more than save my daughter's life. You have shown me that humanity is stronger than I thought. For this I honor you, but I cannot give you nothing. This is not the way of the Aryans. Adam started to speak, but the king raised his hand. I will not force reward upon you, but I ask this. Stay with us. Help me understand what humanity can be. Help me protect my people from those who plot against us. Will you do this? Adam looked at. She was watching him, waiting for his answer. I will, Adam said, for as long as I am needed. King nodded. He knew that this human had just changed the destiny of two worlds. He did not know how big that change would become. Adam spent 3 days in the royal palace. He learned the layout of the building. He studied the security systems. He watched how the guards moved and where they were weak. It was what a good soldier did. He was always looking for problems. On the third night, something changed, came to his quarters looking afraid. Her pale blue skin was even lighter than usual. Her black eyes were wide. We must talk in private, she said. Not even the guards can hear us. Adam took her to a small garden inside the palace. It was surrounded by high walls of crystal that blocked sound from escaping. Here, they could speak freely. I have been listening to the servants, said. I have heard things I was not supposed to hear. There is a conspiracy in my father's government. One of his generals is taking money from the syndicate. They are the criminal organization that sent the assassins to kill me. How do you know this? Adam asked. I heard 2 officers talking. They thought no one was near. They said that general has been paid to help to kill my father and me. Once we are dead, they will control the trade routes of our world. They will make billions in credits. Adam was thinking fast. The syndicate was one of the most dangerous groups in the galaxy. They sold weapons. They sold slaves. They sold death. If they controlled the Aryan trade routes, millions of people would suffer. Does your father know? Adam asked. No, said, and we cannot tell him without proof. General has been with him for 20 years. My father trusts him like a brother. If I accuse him without evidence, we'll simply deny it, and my father might refuse to believe me. Then we find the proof, Adam said. Where would keep records of his contact with the... Thought hard. In the lower levels of the palace, there is a secret room where generals keep private files, but the room is guarded, and if we are caught, we'll know we are onto him. He might kill us both before my father can help us. Adam nodded. He understood the danger. Then we have to be very careful. That night, Adam and made their way through the palace. They moved slowly and quietly. Adam used the knowledge he had gained from watching the guards. He knew when they changed their positions. He knew where the security cameras had blind spots. Humans were good at seeing patterns. This skill had kept humans alive on Earth through thousands of years of conflict. They reached the lower levels without being seen. The secret room was behind a wall panel, used a code that only the royal family knew. The panel slid open. Inside, they found records, papers, and data chips that showed everything. General had been receiving payments from the syndicate for 5 years. There were messages between and leaders, plans to kill the king during a state dinner, plans to install a puppet government that would serve the syndicate. Adam photographed everything with a small device he carried. When they had enough proof, they left the room and made their way back to safety. The next morning, Adam went to King. They showed him the evidence. The king's face became dark with anger as he read the messages. Has been my friend since we were young, the king said. His voice was hard and cold. He will pay for this betrayal with his life. But Adam held up his hand. Your Majesty, wait. If you arrest now, they will know we have discovered the plot. They will move faster. They will attack before you can prepare. We need to let think we know nothing. We need to prepare a trap for them. King looked at the human for a long moment. Then he understood. You want to catch them all. Yes, Adam said. All of them, the leaders, their ships, their soldiers. If we only arrest, the syndicate survives. They will try again. But if we use as bait, we can destroy the entire operation. The king called his most trusted advisors, not general, but the other commanders. He told them about the conspiracy without revealing that he already had proof. He said that there was danger from the syndicate. He asked them to prepare the palace defenses. Then Adam worked with the security forces to set up a trap. They moved soldiers into hidden positions. They prepared weapons. They made it look like the palace was undefended when it was actually a fortress. Stayed close to Adam during all of this. She watched him work with the palace security. She saw how the soldiers listened to him. Even though he was human and they were Aryan, they trusted his knowledge. His plans made sense. His confidence was real. For the first time began to see what her father had seen. Humans were different. They did not think the way other species thought. They saw problems in new ways. They moved fast and without fear. 2 days later, they made their move. A fleet of ships appeared above the planet. Soldiers attacked the palace gates, but they found no easy victory. The royal forces were ready. The trap was set. Adam commanded the defense from the control room. He directed soldiers using a strategy no one had seen before. He moved small teams to unexpected places. He used the palace's own structure as a weapon. When the soldiers entered the building, they found themselves surrounded. But the real danger came from General. When he saw that the attack was failing, he made a desperate move. He tried to kill King with his own hands. Was with her father in the throne room. When pulled his weapon, she saw it happen. Without thinking, she threw herself at her father, pushing him aside. But Adam was faster. He had been watching everything. He crossed the room in seconds and struck before the general could fire. The weapon fell from his hands. When it was over, was breathing hard. She had been brave. She had been ready to die for her father. Adam helped her stand up. Their eyes met for a moment. Something passed between them, something that neither of them expected. The battle lasted 3 hours. When it ended, the ships were destroyed or fleeing. Their soldiers were captured or dead. General was in custody. The conspiracy was broken. King stood in his throne room and looked at the human and his daughter. They stood together, covered in dust from the battle. You have saved my life twice now, the king said to Adam. And my daughter saved me once as well. All 3 of us stood against the darkness. This is how true warriors act. This is how true leaders act. He turned to, You are not the frightened girl who ran away. You are a woman of courage. I was wrong to think you needed a husband to protect you. You protect yourself, and you would protect your world. Then he looked at Adam. And you, human, you have shown my people something we did not know, that humans are not weak, that humans have something in their hearts that no technology can copy, something that makes them truly strong. Adam bowed deeply. I am just a soldier, your majesty. I did what any human would do. But the king knew better. Not any human would do what Adam did. Adam was special, and the future was about to prove just how special he was. The syndicate did not accept defeat easily. When their attack on the palace failed, they regrouped. They sent a message to King. They said they would destroy the entire planet if he did not give them and 10 billion credits. The king gathered his war council. His generals looked worried. They had weapons. They had ships. They had soldiers. The Aryan military was strong, but was experienced in galactic warfare. We must negotiate, one general said. We must surrender, another said. Adam stood in the corner of the war room and said nothing. He watched. He listened. He learned how the Aryans thought about war. Finally, King asked him, What does Earth do when threatened by an enemy? Adam stepped forward. Earth learned a long time ago that the strongest weapon is not always the biggest. The strongest weapon is the one your enemy does not expect. They expects you to fight with ships and soldiers. They expect you to follow the rules of galactic combat. Do not do what they expect. What do you suggest? The king asked. Adam walked to the map of the planet. He pointed to the space above it. Where are they now? Their main fleet orbits in 3 sections, a general said. The command ship is here. The weapons platforms are here and here. Adam nodded. They are spread out. That is their weakness. If we strike fast and smart, we can break them apart before they can work together. But we do not have enough ships, another general said. Their weapons are more powerful than ours. Then we do not use ships, Adam said. Not at first, we use something they do not expect. He spent the next 4 hours explaining his plan. It was a plan that combined Aryan technology with human tactical thinking. It was a plan that no one had ever tried before. Some of the generals did not like it. They said it was too risky. They said Adam was just a human and did not understand Aryan warfare, but King listened carefully. And when Adam was done, the king made a decision. We do this, he said. We fight like Adam teaches us. The preparation took 1 day. Aryan workers moved fast. They put Adam's plan into action, watched them work. She saw how the soldiers accepted orders from a human. She saw how Adam's confidence made them confident. On the second night, Adam was standing on the palace walls, looking up at the stars. Came and stood beside him. Are you afraid? She asked. Adam thought about the question. Yes, he said, but fear is not bad. Fear keeps you alive. It makes you careful. It makes you ready. My father said you fight without fear, said. Your father sees what he wants to see, Adam said. I am very much afraid right now. I am afraid that my plan will fail. I am afraid that people will die. But I do not let fear stop me from doing what is right. Was quiet for a moment. Then she said, I want to fight beside you in the battle. No, Adam said, you stay safe. That is the most important thing. But shook her head. I stayed safe while others fought for me. My father stayed safe while others protected him. This is finished now. I am an Aryan princess and my world is in danger. I will fight, and I will fight beside you. Adam looked at her face in the starlight. Her pale blue skin seemed to glow. Her black eyes were serious and strong. She was not a frightened girl anymore. She was a warrior. Okay, he said, but you stay with me. You do exactly what I tell you, understood? Understood, said. The battle began at sunrise. The forces saw Aryan ships rising from the planet. They saw the military forces organizing for combat. But what they did not see was Adam's real plan. Hidden teams of Aryan soldiers, taught by Adam, moved through the lower sections of space. They used small ships that the sensors did not track well. They moved silently and carefully. Their mission was to reach the command ship and strike from inside. The main Aryan fleet attacked from above. The fleet responded. A great battle began in space. Ships fired weapons, explosions lit up the sky. The forces were strong. They pushed back the Aryan fleet. But then Adam's hidden teams struck. They hit the command ship with weapons from 3 directions at once. The command ship's shields, designed to stop attacks from outside, could not stop the internal attack. The commanders were shocked. They did not understand how they were under attack from inside their own ship. Adam led one of these teams himself, was with him as she had promised. They moved through the corridors of the ship. They fought soldiers. Adam's human strength was an advantage in close combat, fought like a true warrior, moving with grace and power. Together, they were unstoppable. The ship was disabled. Its weapons went silent. Its shields dropped. The weapons platforms, without command from the main ship, could not coordinate their attacks. The Aryan fleet, seeing the enemy breaking apart, struck hard. One by one, the ships were destroyed or forced to surrender. The entire battle lasted 2 hours. When it ended, the syndicate was broken. They had lost almost everything. Adam stood on the deck of the command ship. Around them, Aryan soldiers controlled the area. They looked at each other. We did it, said. No, Adam said. Your people did it. I just showed them how. Humans are not stronger than Aryans. We just think differently. We use what we have in new ways, and your people learned how to do the same. Stepped closer to him. But you risked your life for us. You could have returned to Earth. You could have let us solve our own problems, but you stayed. You fought beside us. Because it mattered, Adam said simply. Because you matter, your world matters, and sometimes a human has to help not because they are asked, but because it is right. When they returned to the palace, King was waiting. He embraced his daughter. Then he turned to Adam and put his hand over his heart. It was the highest sign of respect in Aryan culture. You have saved my people, the king said. You have destroyed an enemy that threatened our entire galaxy. You have shown us that humans are not just soldiers. You are teachers. You are leaders. You are the kind of beings this galaxy needs." The king raised his voice so all his soldiers could hear. "From this day forward, humanity and the Aryan people are allies. We will stand together against darkness. We will protect each other, and we will build a future together." Adam bowed to the king, he bowed to the soldiers, but when he bowed to, something was different. His eyes held something more than respect, and when she looked back at him, felt the same thing. They both knew that the battle was over, but their real story was just beginning. 3 weeks passed after the great battle. The Aryan people celebrated their victory. The news traveled through the galaxy. Everyone wanted to know about the human who had saved a princess and defeated the syndicate. The Empire, who had once wanted to marry, sent a message. They wanted to negotiate a peace treaty with the Aryans. They no longer tried to force into marriage. They had seen what humans could do. Other worlds asked to meet Adam. They wanted to learn his tactics. They wanted to understand how a human could do what he did. But Adam stayed in the palace. He was not interested in fame or reward. He was interested in building something with the Aryans, and he was interested in. Every evening, he and walked in the crystal gardens. They talked about their worlds. Adam told her about Earth. He told her about mountains and oceans. He told her about human art and music, told him about the Aryan history. She told him about their people and their dreams. King watched them from the palace windows. He saw what was happening. He understood that the connection between Adam and was real and deep. One afternoon, the king called Adam to his chambers. Adam expected the king to ask about another military matter. Instead, the king looked serious but different. "Adam," the king said, "I have been thinking about what I owe you. You have refused credits. You have refused a title. You have refused a ship. There is only one thing I can offer that you might accept." Adam waited. "My daughter has spoken to me," the king continued. "She has told me about her feelings for you, and I have seen how you look at her. In my culture, when a man and a woman love each other, it is a sacred thing. It is stronger than any political alliance. So I am asking you a question as a father, not as a king." The king stepped closer. "Do you love my daughter?" Adam did not hesitate. "Yes," he said, "I love her." "Then I offer you her hand in marriage," the king said. "Not as a reward for what you did, not as a political tool, but as a joining of two people who choose to be together. And through you, as a joining of two worlds that choose to understand each other." Adam fell to his knees. "I am honored, your majesty, but this must be choice, not your choice, not mine alone. She must decide freely." The king smiled. It was a real smile, full of warmth. "That is why I know she should marry you, because you understand what true strength is. True strength is giving someone the freedom to choose, even when you want them to choose you." That evening came to Adam in the gardens. She was nervous. Her blue skin was almost white with emotion. "My father told you," she said. "He did," Adam replied. "And what did you say?" asked. Adam took her hand. "I told him that I love you and that the choice must be yours alone. I will not force you. I will not ask you to leave your world. If you say no, I will respect that. But I came to this planet planning to leave in a few weeks. I plan to return to Earth. But now I do not want to leave, not if you will stay with me." His black eyes filled with tears. They were tears of happiness. "I love you too," she said. "And I choose you. I choose to build a life with you. I choose to be your wife." They held each other as the stars came out above them. The wedding took place 1 week later. It was the greatest ceremony the Aryan people had ever seen. Thousands came to celebrate. There were representatives from 100 worlds. They came to see the human who had changed the galaxy. Adam wore the formal uniform of Earth's colonial defense force, wore the ancient white crystal dress of Aryan royalty. When they said their vows, half the galaxy was watching through broadcast. King stood beside them and smiled. He had been right about this human. Adam was everything he had hoped for. But the wedding was just the beginning. After the celebration, Adam went to work. They had a vision of something new. They created a joint humanitarian research station in orbit around the planet. Scientists from Earth worked beside scientists from Aria. They shared knowledge. They created new technologies together. They learned from each other. They also created a military academy where humans and Aryans trained together. Young soldiers from both worlds learned to fight as a team. They learned that different did not mean inferior. Different meant strength. Within a year, the Aryan-Human Alliance was the strongest force in that region of the galaxy. Enemies of peace learned not to attack worlds protected by both humans and Aryans. But more importantly, a new kind of relationship began to grow, not just military, not just political, but personal. Humans and Aryans began to trade more freely. They began to marry each other. They began to build families together. 5 years later, Adam stood on a balcony overlooking their world, was pregnant with their first child. Adam held her gently. "Do you miss Earth?" asked. Adam thought about the question. "I miss parts of it. I miss the ocean. I miss my family. But this is my home now. You are my home." Below them, the planet sparkled with its own inner light. The crystal cities reflected the stars. It was beautiful. King came to stand with them. He was older now, and Adam could see that he was thinking about his future. "Adam," he said, "I have been ruling this world for many years, but I grow tired. It is time for a new generation to lead." The king looked at his daughter. "You have become the woman I always hoped you would be. You are strong and wise. You care about your people. I want you to rule after me." Was surprised. "Father, I am not ready. I do not have enough experience." But Adam put his hand on her shoulder. "Yes, you are," he said, "and you will not be alone. A true leader never is." The king nodded. "That is correct. We'll be queen, and Adam will be her counsel and her partner as he has been all along." And so it happened. 3 years later, King retired from power. His daughter became Queen the First. She ruled with wisdom and strength, and beside her, as her partner in all things, was Adam Hayes of Earth. The human who had once been a stranger in a marketplace became a key figure in shaping the future of the Aryan people. But he never became arrogant. He never forgot that he was an outsider who had been given the gift of belonging. Humanity, which had once been dismissed as weak and unimportant, became known throughout the galaxy as something different. Humans were known as beings who acted from the heart. They were known as warriors who fought not for power, but for what was right. They were known as people who could see past differences and build connection. The story of Adam spread across worlds and galaxies. It became a lesson that different peoples could stand together. That strength came not from technology or weapons, but from character and courage. That sometimes a human from a distant world could change everything. And in the Crystal Palace on the Aryan, Adam built a family and a legacy. Their children carried the blood of both Earth and Arya. They carried the hope that the galaxy could be a place where all beings, no matter how different, could live together in peace and strength. The marketplace where it all began was eventually turned into a memorial. A statue of a human standing with an Aryan princess was placed there. The inscription read simply, "Here on this day, courage was born. Here two worlds became one. Here hope was given form." And that was the true story of how a human saved an alien princess from assassins, and in doing so, changed the destiny of two entire worlds.